Charge it up to the allergies. Weak mouth.
Mm, mm.
7 o'clock. Let's go.
7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising the street.
Yeah,
Here we go.
right.
That's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That's it. That's it. It's coming from everywhere. You know what it is. That's why I'm behind the curtain. When it opens up, sit down, be quiet, because it's on. Stage is on. That's it.
You should start off in a song.
That's it. Come out like Ray Lewis on them. That's it.
Oh, man.
Yes. Well, in the interest of time, of our time,
Okay.
respect for time, respect for ourselves, we get started on time every time. Here we go.
Sir.
Here we go. Well, hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for coming. Another wonderful day, another wonderful opportunity to learn about ourselves, learn about this life we're living, and making sure that we're living the one we want to live. So here we go. You want to hear it? Here it go. Here we go. All right. Last week, this is part 2 of ourself, of knowing who we are, what we are, why we are, and all the different things. We talked a lot about self-concept, self-esteem. We'll go over that a little bit just to kind of lay the foundation back again. But we're going to talk about now, the second part will be, what do we do now? Now that we have a better understanding, which is a lifelong journey. This isn't a seminar. This isn't a sermon. This isn't some kind of certification program where you come once and then you got it forever. It's a lifestyle, right? A lifestyle just means a way of daily living. This is just a lifestyle, learning how to think so that we can live well, being in control of our mind so that we can make the choices to live, to be, to do, and have all the things we want. It's a lifestyle. It's not positive thinking. It's not mental health. It's not any of those things. This is just understanding how you create your reality by the dominant thoughts that you have, by what you are thinking, believing, and feeling to be true on a regular, routine, and dominant basis, right? And realizing that you have the power to control and choose those things, even though most often we felt like we didn't, or if we feel like we don't. We've been raised and conditioned to think we didn't or we don't, but we do. And the only way for most of us who are adults here and consider ourselves to be grown is to have control of this faculty that we possess, right? So we can't control something we don't know exists or don't understand how it works. And so that is why we are here, right? We share plenty of love, laughs, jokes, and whatever it takes to get the message through and the point across. And like I always say, this is not about me in that respect. It's not, I'm not trying to convert you into anything. I'm not trying to get you to follow me. I'm not even trying to get you to agree. What I'm trying to do most is expose you to some information and just ask you to be honest with yourself about what you hear. This is all the information that I give out, or that's given out here, is to get you to take it, look at it, and look at yourself in relation to it and say, what did I hear? What did I think? What did I think about what I heard? What did that make me think? Right? The whole point is to stimulate your own individual capacity to think critically, analytically, and consciously and purposely, and for your highest and best good, right? So you can live the way you want to live. I don't care what you want. I just want you to have it. And right, so my job is to, or what I'm doing, right, here is to give you the information so that you can do that, right? Just like a doctor, right? Not a medical doctor, but a doctor, right? That's essentially what I am. Look up the word on an etymological dictionary. If you don't know, look it up. Then you'll see. Not a medical doctor, a doctor. Look up the original word, and then you'll see what we're doing here, right? All right. So let's do a little bit of review first, right? So self-concept, volunteer. What does that mean? What is your self-concept? What is that actually? I'm not going to tell you. If you guys are waiting on me, you're not going to be able to wait me out. It is 7:04. You showed up. Wake up. Let's get it going. What does self-concept mean? What does that mean?
I can take a guess. I don't know if I count because we did it last week.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Okay. So the idea of yourself that you have of yourself.
Mm-hmm. So your self-concept is your idea. Is the idea that you have of yourself. The idea that you have about you. Who you think you are. What you think you are. That is your self-concept. That is not self-esteem. That is your self-concept. So when someone says, I have allergies, that's a self-concept. That's an idea that you have about yourself. It may be because of experience. So you turn an experience into an identity. You bring that into your concept of yourself, right? So once we understand that we have a self-concept, it's almost like a house. We have to be careful with what we bring into it. What we bring in, who we bring in, and all those different, because they are now going to become a part of our experience, right? So our self-concept is the idea that we have about ourselves. Self-esteem. Volunteer. What does self-esteem mean? What does self-esteem mean?
I think self-esteem is how you feel about the capability of yourself. So how do you feel about
what does esteem mean? What is esteem? What does that word mean?
I think it has something to do with your worth, what you feel you're worth, how you esteem yourself, you feel about yourself.
That's absolutely right. The word esteem means value. How you value yourself, what you believe your value or your worth is. That's absolutely correct. Both of you were correct in that sense. What your value is. These are yours, whether they're things you created, whether it's your own assessment, or whether it is what you believe someone told you about it. Meaning, a lot of times, these are things that we either created or accepted, but they can only be kept alive by our permission, with our permission. Somebody could say you're not smart. You have a choice to believe that or not. Somebody could say that you're capable or incapable. You have a choice whether you believe that or not. So the self of you has an identity, has an idea about itself and a value that it attaches to that idea as a result, right? So when you have an idea about yourself, you think you're something, you attach a value to that. When you see a house, that's an idea. Then you attach a value to it based on the idea you have of it, whether it's what you think it is, and therefore how valuable you think it is. You are the same thing. There's a self of you, right? That has an idea, what you believe about it, what it is, who it is, how it is, and then you attach a value to that, an esteem to it, right? Based on, because I think I'm this, I now feel myself this valuable, right? Whether it's high, low, or whatever it is, right? So we have to kind of go back and make sure we understand this from the beginning, because we're going to start talking about some more. Last week, we went a little bit more higher level, a little bit more invisible driven. We're going to go a little bit more visible driven today, so we can get to the other side of the coin, right? The other side of the dollar. So these two things, self-esteem and self-concept, what is, both of these are what is interesting about, there's one thing that's interesting about both of these things. There's one thing that's interesting when you say self-concept and self-esteem, right? Why are these so, what is interesting about these two things? We could say 1,000 things, but I want to illustrate something. I want us to understand something about these two things. There's something interesting about these two things. They both have it in common. not self. There, that too, but there's something interesting about these things. What is it? Why do people have so many different beliefs about what these words mean? Give me some guesses. Come on, somebody got to guess. We've been wrong before. This won't be the first time. We've been right before, wrong before, but right, there's no free rides up in here. What is it? Tell me something about these two there's just something interesting. There's a lot of things, but there's something interesting I want to point out here. But I want to see what you guys think.
So like the similarities?
Yep. There's something interesting about both of these things.
We are the ones who create the idea and the value.
Okay. What else? Who else? What else?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too, Big Luck, is that they both start and end with you, the individual, along with the fact that you're placing your own. You have the ability to drive the fact or define concept or esteem according to how you feel about yourself. You.
Okay. So then, all right, somebody else. Then who is you? Who is that? When you say you, who is that?
Can it also be how you allow someone else to make you feel?
That is true, but that's and those are both based on your concept and your esteem. That's true. And the key word in that sentence is allow, right? That is true. We always have a choice, right? That's why Eleanor Roosevelt said, what did she say? She said, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent, right? So that is true too. But in the interest of time, you, not the person you see in the mirror, that's the you making that person alive. The person you see in the mirror is not you. That's your body. That's not you. That's yours. That's why it's called your arm, your eye, your head, your hair, because it's your possession. It's not you. You, self-concept and self-esteem, they're all invisible. They're all three of these, the you, self-concept, yourself, the you, the self, right? Your concept, your esteem, they're invisible. No one can see them. Last week, we were talking about the invisible. No one can see them. But they are you and they are yours. They are invisible. You cannot see them. All you can see is the expression of them. You can't see the wind. You can only see what it's doing. You can only feel what it's doing, but you can't see it. You can only see what it blows. You can only see what it affects. It exists, but it's invisible to the naked eye. But it has a power and a force that has an effect on your physical, visible world. That is you. That is the self. That is yourself. That is your concept, your esteem is invisible. You can't see concept or esteem, but you see the effects of what you have. Your self-concept and your self-esteem are invisible, but if you look at your life, just like wind is invisible and you see it blowing the trees, you don't say, well, since I can't see it, the trees just must be moving on their own. That's not happening. What's happening is something you can't see is affecting something you can see. Your self-concept and your self-esteem, the idea of yourself and the value you hold of yourself is invisible, and it is affecting your physical world. It's affecting what you think, it's affecting what you feel, it's affecting what you do, it's affecting what you don't do, it's affecting how you describe yourself, it's affecting your money, it's affecting your health, it is affecting every physical thing in your world is being driven by something you cannot see. That is important for you to understand, because what you can't see is actually the cause. What you can see is actually the effect. The you of you is causing everything that's going on in your physical life, according to what is believing itself to be your idea and your esteem. Esteem means value, concept means idea. You have a value of yourself based on the concept that you have. The more important you are to yourself, the greater your idea of yourself is, the greater your esteem is. And so you do, that is like your bank account. That's like your gas tank. That is the resource that you're using to live with, to live on, to go forward with, to actually be with. You have to understand that first, because this is doing everything. So when we start talking about things, I want you to understand this first. Now, I'm not gonna pity pat with it today. We're gonna get right into it, because people have a whole bunch of things that I talk about indirectly, but I'm gonna talk about directly today. So everybody, strap your mustache on, wigs on, strap everything up, because we about to get toasty in here. All right. Who here has a so we're going to talk about business today. We're going to talk about a little business today. We're going to talk about we're going to talk physical today. We're going to get into the mix today. So I need a volunteer. Who has a business and a child with a cell phone that's old enough that you could call? Who has that and wants to volunteer? Well, even if you could just call your child, say they don't have a cell phone, but you have a business and a child. Who has that and wants to volunteer?
I do.
Perfect. Okay, what's your name?
LaTanya.
LaTanya. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Okay, here we go. So you have a business. You don't have to give us your daughter's name for real, but let's just say, we don't have to put out personal information, but let's say your daughter's name is Nicole. Let's just say. All right, what is your business's name?
Visa May and Associates.
Say it one more time.
May and Associates.
M.A. and Associates?
Visa May, so that's F as in Frank, ILS hyphen capital AI, M as in Mary, E as in Edward.
Oh, okay.
And Associates.
And Associates.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, so like I said last week, sometimes I want you guys to understand I'm talking about business. I'm talking about health. I'm talking about money here. We're always talking about that every week. But we're talking about it in a way where you get control of it, where you get to understand it, where you get to realize exactly what's happening here. So you understand how to get off. So here's an example of what I mean. So now, both of these, LaTanya, so this goes for everybody, right? The principle goes for everybody. So both of these, LaTanya, are yours. Okay, now you can call your daughter, and you can call her on the phone. So she is your expression. Your business is your expression. They're both concept that they're both things that come from you. So, all right. So you call your daughter and you say, "Hey, how's it going?" And she's like, "Yeah, so and so and so and so and so and so." Okay, cool. Now, here's the point. So now you're going to call Phil's May and Associates. You're going to call that. All right. So if you call that, let's call Phil's May and Associates. So if you call, who are you calling?
Me.
But I thought you said it was this. I thought you said your business is Phil's May and Associates. So
it
who
is.
Are you calling? It is. So who are you calling?
You're calling the business.
No, I just talked you out of it.
You're calling me.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to change your mind. You changed your mind. I didn't tell you to do that. Right? No, you said right. You said you're calling you.
Yes.
So then who is your business?
It's me.
It's
It's my
you.
yes.
It's you. Your daughter that you called is not you. She's a reflection of you, but she's not you. So as your daughter gets older, you're able to call her on the phone. You can have a conversation with her. She grows up and she's her own person. No matter how old your business is, who are you calling?
Me.
So then
me.
that you're calling you. So if you are calling you, then you are what?
The business. I am my business.
You are your business. You are the business. So that means the business is going according to you.
Yes.
So then if we back up, then if the business is going according to you, who are you? Who are you then?
I am my business. Oh wow. So my business is wow.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Is actually my performance, what I'm doing, good or bad, the good, the ugly. It's everything. It's a reflection of me.
Correct. And so what are you comprised of? You said it's a reflection of me. What is me made up of?
Oh wow. Esteem, like we talked about earlier, self-esteem, professionalism, knowledge. Am I going in the right direction, or you need me to go in a different direction?
No, I don't need you to do anything. I need you to tell me what you think. There ain't no right answer. That's why we're here.
I think it's my branding. I think it's how people see me. I think if people want to do business with people that they like.
Okay, no, stop.
Okay.
Stop. Watch, okay. Your branding. Can you call branding? Call it.
Yes.
Who's branding?
You said what now? I'm sorry.
Who is branding? You said it's your branding. Who is branding?
My brand?
Who is that? Can you call your brand?
No, that brand is still me.
Correct. So then it has nothing to do with your branding.
Okay.
How, if your branding is you, then what are you talking about branding?
I guess how I'm perceived, how my business is perceived.
Yeah, how is your business perceived? Who is your business?
It's me.
So then what are you really saying?
I'm saying it's important how I am perceived in business. So it's important that I have high self-esteem. It's important that I have confidence. All of that matters.
All of that is the only thing that matters. Your concept. Yes. Who are you? You didn't say concept. What happened to your concept?
Yeah, that is important. You're right.
Right.
I'm a little nervous. But go ahead.
No, it's great. No, I'm talking only out of passion and excitement because I want you to get it. I want all of us to get it. I want us to get it because every day we're out here busting our butt. A lot of times, instead of using our mind, we're using the wrong thing to try to get to the right end, and we don't mean it, right? We're just not really realizing actually what's happening.
Yes.
Right? So you said you went from your business backward to me, correct? Then you went from me backward to who is me, my concept and my esteem. You can call your daughter because even though she is you're responsible for her, she's not completely you. She still has a life separate from you. But yet she's still yours. What I'm trying to tell you is your business will always be your child. It'll never, but it's not a living thing without you. That's why you can't call brand. That's why you can't call your business. You got to call you. You're calling you, but you are responsible for it like a child. It's always going to need you. It can't exist without you. It can't exist without you. Right? So
yes.
when I said call your business, call your brand, we're thinking that we can have a business and a brand separate from our concept and esteem. We're thinking that a small mind can't see the big picture. A small concept can't manage a successful business. It's too small. It's like an ant trying to pick up a pickup truck. It's the thing that it's sitting on. Your business is sitting on top of you. That's why you said, I have to call me. I have to call you. I have to call I. It's the concept of and the esteem of yourself, the concept of yourself. Everything is being done on that. What time you wake up, how long you work, how hard you work. If you work hard, if you believe money is easy, if you believe it's hard to get, if you believe you got to work 20 hours, if you believe you got to grind, if you believe your brand is going to save you. But you said your brand, and thank you for being the test subject, so to speak, for brave, because everybody on here needs to understand this, right? You said your brand. Everybody's talking about a brand, but can anybody call their brand? Can Phil Knight call Nike like, hey man, what's up? You can't call your brand. You can't call your business. You can't call your marketing. All of those things are reflections of you. And the you is a combination of your concept and your self-esteem. It's the concept of self. It's the idea of you. Who are you? What are you? What do you think is possible for you? This is going for all of us. So when we're talking about business, what we're really talking about is you, me, the singular, the I. That's what we're talking about. And when we understand that, we will turn around and we'll focus more on ourselves, because the more we are, the more we have to offer. Your brand is nothing but a reflection of you. It's nothing but a reflection of how big you think you are. That's how big it will get. How small you think you are is how small it will become or remain. Right? And so we are talking about, when we're talking about business or brand, I'm going to use this word connotative. Don't worship anything you can't pray to. Don't act like something can save you and you can't call it. Your daughter can save you, maybe not at 3, but at 33 she can. You can actually call her and get something from her. She can pick up the phone, bring you something to eat, rub your feet. She can do something. I don't care how big your business is, it's never going to do it. You're always going to be calling yourself. So that if you understand that your business is a reflection of you, then the you is the most important part of the equation. It's the most important part. This isn't positive thinking. This isn't say, oh, you're a queen. Oh, you're a champion. Oh, that's not what this is. This is an awakening. This is an understanding to say, listen, if I have a business and I understand that this business is a reflection of me, then I don't have to worry about the business. The business is a reflection of me. So it's going as I go. So if I focus on me, then the more I am, the more it is. Right? The better I am, the better it is. The smarter I am, the smarter it is. The more self-esteem and the better self-concept I possess, the better brand it will appear as. Your brand the brand of your business is nothing but the physical reflection of your self-esteem and your concept. It's nothing but the physical reflection. That is your brand. It is a physical representation of you. When they see it, they think of you. Well, when your business sees you, it thinks of you. Meaning whatever it's getting from you is what it's putting out. When we understand that, now we know how to be successful, because we understand success starts with us now.
That's awesome and simple. And I think yet sometimes we forget that we are the most important thing. Like I was going to put my workout off until this evening, but I think I'm going to do it right after this call, because I am the most important factor.
That's it. What part of your life are you doing without you? I mean, and when somebody can tell me I did that, but I didn't do it, I was there, but I wasn't there. Like, what part of your life, what part of our lives do we do without us? So if we don't value us and we're valuing our brand, we're valuing our image, we're valuing our degree, we're valuing our cars, we're valuing all these physical things, but none of these physical things can exist without us. If you go buy a brand new Rolls Royce and park it in front of your house, leave it out there for 6 months, and what is it going to look like? It doesn't matter whether it's a bucket or a Bentley. It's not a living thing, so it can't take care of itself. You have to take care of it because it's not a living thing. Your business is not a living thing truly. It's under your care and supervision, but it can't live and exist without you. So according to who you are is what it is and how it will be. How it's going to go. It's never going to be bigger than you, than the concept that you hold of yourself, because that's the concept that you're breathing life into it. It's not to say your business is not important. It's to understand that you're the most important. It's like math. It's understanding the order of operations. It's understanding that as I go, it goes. It's not the opposite way. Your business is not going to call you and say, wake up. It's not going to call you and say, hey, man, you didn't call me back. It's not life in and of itself. You are the life giver. You breathe life into your business. And according to the breath you give it, like CPR, that's the life you're giving your body, your business. Everything in your life is going according to that. So when we neglect ourselves, we're neglecting the same business that we want to expand, that we want to grow. We won't take care of ourselves, but we think we can take care of a business. We want to expand our business, but won't expand our mind. This here is not positive thinking. Let me get you, okay. All right, here we go. See, now I almost dropped the marker, but I'm not upset. I'm just gonna keep it calm because I want us to think about two things differently. Positive thinking and mental health. Mental health is like the new thing now. That's everybody's talking about it. Like, like back in the day, everybody used to talk about three-way pagers, and people used to talk about, Gerbeau jeans and iceberg jeans. Man, I'm not the only one. Don't do that. Everybody understands what I'm talking about. Don't do that. Right? I won't go back to cross colors. That may be a little bit too deep. Right? But there's two things I want us to think about differently. When I say this is not positive, that's it. For us, by us. And remember when they did that commercial with LL? I was like, oh, dude, that was tight. Back in the day, I was like, yeah, he was licking his lips in the video and everything. He was out there ready. All right, right? So there's two things I want us to think about differently, because I want us to understand that when we start thinking about things differently, things change. Right, okay, positive thinking. I always say on here, man, this is not positive thinking. Let's rearrange, I'll go back, let's rearrange this word. Thinking positively. Okay. I said this first one is sounds good, but it's some trash for all intents and purposes. For all intents and purposes, people say it, they don't know what it means, and they're just out here. They're just out here. So let me give you an example. Positive thinking. My tire, I was rolling down the street and my tire got flat on the way to work. Positive thinking. Well, God will never put on you more than you can handle. This is just building character and integrity. That's positive thinking. It's just saying something that means absolutely nothing. This ain't helping you. What are you talking about? You just out here talking, trying to say not the wrong thing, but that don't make it the right thing. Thinking positively. I'm riding down the street, my tire gets flat. You know what? Everything is working out for my highest and best good. I'm always in the right place at the right time. Everything is always working out for my highest and best good. What's the difference? What's the difference between positive thinking and thinking positive? And those two examples, what is the difference? Anybody?
Yeah, thinking is just not random thoughts, but just regular thoughts. And thinking positive is more or less with intention.
That's absolutely correct. One is I'm gonna try to not be mad. Positive thinking, I'm gonna find something to say that isn't bad. It ain't good, but I just gonna try to say something and not curse myself out, curse the tire out. I'm not gonna rub my blood pressure, not my pressure up today. I'm not gonna. The other one is thinking positively is thinking in your favor. It's learning how to think in your favor. It's not just throwing your hands up in the air and say, I'm not gonna fall down. That don't mean you're doing any better standing up. you're not really doing, you're not in any better emotional mental state. If we understand, right, that our thoughts, the things we think most often are the creators of our life, of everything. Learning how to think positively is a mentality. It's like training a soldier. It's like training an athlete. It's like training a dog. It's like training our children. It's like it is conditioning something to perform in a certain way from a level of knowledge and understanding. Right? It's learning how to think positively, how to think in our favor, how to use our mind to always be talking to ourselves in a way that provides an advantage, that provides support, that provides proper perspective and clarity, so that we can stay in a situation long enough to either overcome it, get through it, or get out of it. We don't just, like a 5-year-old, chase the ball into the street and get hit. Things don't just happen and we just fall out and we're just messed up, right? We have to learn that when something happens, when a bill comes, oh, God never put on me more. Well, that bill looks like it's a lot more on me than I can in my account. So I don't know what God is doing, but this bill looks a lot heavier than I can bear, right? Instead of learning how to say, you know what? All my needs are met. I always have the right ideas. Every time I use my money, it comes back to me multiplied, right? You start learning how to think and you start learning how to talk to yourself. You start learning how to condition your consciousness. I'm going to go off on a little sidetrack.
Man, Coach Lucky, this is good stuff, man. This is really good, bro.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Justin. Here, I want you guys to understand something. Wealth and money, they are not the same thing. They're not, I repeat, they're not the same thing. When we're talking about learning how to think positively in your favor, wealth is a consciousness. Wealth is a consciousness. It's an awareness of being. It's a concept that you have of yourself. So when you say, I am wealthy, you are saying my concept of myself, the idea that I have of myself, is that I possess wealth. The I believe myself to be has this thing or is this thing. That is wealth is a consciousness. Money is the expression of it. Whether you have it or you don't, or whether you lack it or you have it, whether you have a lot of it or a little of it, money is only the expression of this consciousness. Money can be 1,000 different things: stocks, bonds, land, gold, cattle. People flip property. Money is just the currency that is the expression of your consciousness. In this case, wealth. Wealth is a consciousness. Money is an idea. It's just the idea of, it's the expression of that. Right? When you understand that, when you condition your consciousness to wealth by saying, not just by saying I am wealthy, but actually by saying, if I were wealthy, how would I feel? If I were wealthy, if I had the wealth I wanted, right? If I had the consciousness of being wealthy, meaning all the things that I would feel and be doing as a result of having it, those will produce different thoughts than the result of money, because most people chase it because they don't have the consciousness of it. They don't have the awareness of having it. When you have something, you're not chasing it. You have it, right? When you don't have something, right? When you're only trying to find the expression, you can't find the expression without the expressor, right? You can't find the outcome without the cause. Wealth is a consciousness. It's an awareness of being. It's something you know yourself to be. So if you're Justin, if you're Latanya, if you're John, if you are Tosh, I see you on here. If you are that, right? You're not trying to be that. You are that. Wherever you go, you are that. You don't go somewhere else and be like, man, I'm out in Cali. My name is not Justin anymore. It's JJ. Right? What we know are, it's right. It would be insane to change your name if you go state to state, country to country. That'd be insane. Right? When you know yourself to be something, you are that wherever you go. When you're broke, you're this. When you're rich, you're that. When you are cold, you're this. When you're warm, you're that. When you're here, you're this. When you're there, you're that. It's a consciousness. It's an awareness of being. And anybody who is sane Their awareness of being is stable. If somebody had multiple personalities or was bipolar or things like that, people would call that mental health issue, right? Because they would say they're lacking stability in their identity, right? And so wealth is a consciousness. It's an awareness. It's an identity. It's something you believe yourself to be. If you have that, when you get that, if you possess that, it will, your wealth, the money, the expression of that consciousness will remain as stable as your consciousness. Your money will remain as stable as your consciousness. It will function at the height of your consciousness. So when we talked about self-esteem and we talk about self-concept, when you have the idea of who you are, and then you attach a value to that, then who you are better be big if you want to be big. Your mind better be big. You cannot get a big picture with a small mind. You cannot have a big company with a small consciousness. You cannot have a wealth experience with a poverty mind. You cannot have a healthy body with a sick mind. It doesn't work. You can't grind your way into wealth with a poverty mind. You won't get those ideas. A wealth mind and a poverty mind are two different ways of thinking. They're not good or bad, right or wrong. They're just two different ways of thinking. A person who is wealthy thinks different than a person who is poor. I'm not saying one is a better person. One is probably living a better life, generally. When you can afford everything, go everywhere, and experience all the different things of the world, and books and reading and vacations and cars and homes and heat and electricity, you're going to live more comfortably. It doesn't make you a better person, right? But wealth and poverty are both states of consciousness that produce expressions. Your money is the expression of your consciousness. You can't outwork it. You have to change it. You can't lower the intensity on the sun. You have to figure out where you fit in, get in where you fit in. Right? So you have to learn how to work with things that already exist. Wealth is a consciousness. All you have to do is attach yourself to it and it will express. Electricity is a consciousness. You attach your phone to it, it expresses. You're not sitting there trying to figure out how to make that work. You just attach the thing you want to be charged with a thing that charges, and boom, it's done. That's it. You are the phone. Your consciousness, what you believe yourself to be, is the power. You have to connect yourself to the proper power, to the proper understanding of what you want to express in your life. Right? That's it. Once you get the consciousness of wealth, all the ideas that produce wealth will come just like this. They'll come just like this. They'll come just like this. In all kind of shapes and forms. They will come, right? But your ability to connect with certain states of consciousness are first based on your self-concept and your self-esteem. What you believe yourself to be and the value you attach according to the belief of who you are. If you don't believe you're nothing, if you believe everything's hard for you, if you believe because you started poor, you'll never be anything else, if you believe because you're a woman, or believe because you're black, or believe because you're this, or believe because you're that, if you limit yourself in your mind, you're going to limit your physical experience. There's no way to get around it. Your physical experience is an expression of your mind. There's no way to get around it. You can't think small and live big. It doesn't happen. I mean, well, I'm sure all of us at some point has been to a gym, and is always with the dudes. You always see somebody at the gym. You always see some dude lifting weights that you know he shouldn't be lifting, and you just sitting there like, man, it's about. You just look at your watch like it's about 5 seconds. His vertebrae about to be all on this floor. He just about to just be. Or you can hear him all the way across the gym grunting, back all the way out. You're just like, man, you're doing too much. You out here doing too much out here, right? You see it all the time. You see people trying to do too much. They're literally trying to use their body in ways that they're not prepared to use it, right? They're literally doing too much. And a lot of us and our bodies are doing too much because we're not disciplining our mind. We're punishing our bodies. We're grinding them all night, working 85,000 hours a day. We're out here going from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, right? Because we won't discipline our mind. We won't say to ourselves, where do I really want to be? I can have anything. What do I need to think in order to do that? Right? And a lot of times we won't stop to do that. We're worried about our brand. We're worried about our business. We're worried about this. We're worried about that. But we're the life giver. We are the giver. None of these brands, none of these cars, none of these weights, none of these homes, none of the things that we're pursuing can exist without us. None of them. That big old house that you think that's important, go back to it in 2 months and see if it's so important that it took care of itself. That the windows were magically washed and the floor was still clean and everything else. No, there'll be dust on it. It will start decaying because it's not a living thing. It only looks the way it does because a liver built it and somebody living is in it. All of these things, our business, our homes, our cars, our everything else, they're not living things. They are going according to us. And the higher we go up in our mind, the higher we can go with the things that we want to experience. We have to understand these things. Your business is you. You can't call your business without calling you. Let's just stop the cap. Let's get it unconfused today. Your business is you. I don't care how long you have it. It will forever be you. Your kids will grow up, have their own identity. You can call them and they can call you back. If you call your business, it's not going to call you back. It's you you're talking to. You are the creator of that business. You are the life of that business. And that business is a physical reflection of you. So if you know you should be doing something, if you know you're skipping your workout, then okay, well, you might as well skip work. It's only a matter of time. Right? If you know you're supposed to be doing this for yourself or this for yourself, if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of anything else. I know everybody tells you put others before yourself. I know people tell you be a good person. I know people tell you all kind of foolishness. It's just foolishness. Take care of yourself first. You're no value to anyone else. You're no good to anyone else. You're not doing anything for anyone else, but making them mad, agitating them, annoying them because they don't want to see you or hear from you and you ain't got nothing. You ain't talking about nothing. And nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to hear it. Take care of yourself first. You don't have anything to offer but what you have to offer. In order for you to offer something, you have to have it first. Take care of yourself, right? So we're talking about that, right? So that's one. Now we're going to talk about mental health. I was at my daughter's little play picnic at school yesterday, and some of the parents asked me what I do. So I told them. And they asked me, they said, oh, well, what do you think about mental health? Now, you guys have been on here for a minute. Most of you, a lot of you, some of you. What do you think I said? Let's get the audience involved here. What do you think? What can you imagine I said? Anyone?
If you can control your thoughts, you can control your outcome.
Okay. But as it relates to the concept of mental health.
Everything starts in the mind.
Yeah, well, because you're right. Because, positive thinking is a big thing now. Mental health is a big thing now. Manifesting is a big thing now. So we have all these terms that we throw out, right? But we have to actually know what we're talking about, right? Because people are just throwing out things. Everybody's giving each other dap. Everybody's having parades. Everybody's having TV telethons, everybody over these words, and most people don't even know what they mean or if they're actually any good, right, at all, right? So, okay, that's pretty good. What else can you imagine I said? That's pretty good, though. But what else, anybody else? What can you imagine I said?
Self-care.
Self-care, okay.
And self-awareness, I think, is important with mental health. I think, well, that's what I've learned is literally understanding what self-care is, but I think it goes deeper than just getting a massage or doing things like that. You literally have to take care of your mental, but that goes really deeper. So
okay,
at that.
Okay, pretty good. All right, last one. Anybody else?
I just jumped on, but
yes, sir.
Compare yourself to other people.
Mental health?
For mental health, yeah, that's bad on your mental health, comparing yourself to other people.
Okay, what is mental health? I actually want you guys to think about that. What is mental health? I want you to look at the words. Every week, usually I put words up here, right? And most of us will realize, man, I thought I knew what that word meant.
Mental health is mindset.
Okay. Justin?
Mental health is the root to everything else. If the root is rotten, everything coming from it is rotten.
You know what? That's basically what I said. I said, listen, here we go. You want to hear it? Here it go. Mental health. I said, mental health doesn't exist the way it's being spoken about in common society. It doesn't exist. They're treating mental health like it's different than health itself, first of all. Like you can just isolate health. Like you can just say, oh, we're just talking about this part of health. Like it is health. If everything starts in the mind, mental health is what? Is health. What the hell what are we talking about here? Why are we acting like mental health is like some kind of special niche or like some kind of what are we? It is health. Health is just like wealth. It is a state of consciousness. It's what you know yourself to be. That's why there's people who you look at and be like, damn, that person's never sick. And the person over here, this person's never healthy. And they're in the same house. There's people who get every flu you can find. I would say there are two people I know. I'm not going to say no name, but there are two people I know. They are at the doctor more than anyone I know, and they're the two sickest people I know. As much as they're there, they should just rent a room. It should just be like a Motel 6. They should just go in there and be like, hey, just swipe their badge and just go on in and just lay down. They might as well just have their own little spot. They are literally, to the point where if they are going to the doctor, at the doctor, or coming from the doctor when I call them, I'm not even surprised. I'm like, oh yeah, how'd it go? It ain't even no, for what? Are you sick? I'm surprised when they're healthy. When they say, hey, I'm like, hey, what's going on? How's it going? Oh, I'm feeling good. I'd be like, wait, what? What I don't know if they had some kind of dream, if they took some kind of wheatgrass, I don't know what they did, but I'm surprised. I'm like, what's going on? Tell me all about it. Right? Health is a consciousness, just like wealth. It is a state of awareness. When you know yourself to be healthy, it will express itself. People are using vitamins like money. They're using organic like money. They're using all the ideas of it without actually having the consciousness of it. So they're always trying to chase the consciousness of it with the ideas, and you'll never be able to catch it. Because the ideas come from the consciousness, from the awareness of being. Mental health, your health, just like positive thinking, your health is mental. I don't just mean like, oh, I don't mean positive thinking. Oh, just think good about yourself. Just think positively. That's not what I mean. I mean, what do you mentally, right? What do you mentally know about your health? What do you believe about your health? What do you believe your health is supposed to be like, feel like, smell like, taste like? What are you supposed to be? When flu season comes around, is that you? When COVID comes around, is that you? When the next whip of stuff they batch up, is that you? When the swine flu, SARS, remember all that, right? Is that you? Flu season, that's you? When it gets cold, you always get this winter. Is that you? Everybody doesn't get it. If everybody doesn't get it, that means you don't have to get it. It means it's not a real thing. It's just a real thing you can get, but it's not a real thing in the sense that you don't have to get it. If everybody doesn't have to have it, you don't have to have it. Everybody has to breathe. Everybody has to eat. Everyone has to sleep. Those are things that are general. But health is like a tailored suit. It's just for you. Your health is tailored. Your money is tailored. Your wealth is tailored. Your health is tailored. Every experience you have is tailored to you, to what you believe you are, what you believe you have, how you think, how you feel, to, like Justin said, your mindset. We talked about that. Can you see mindset? Can anybody see that? Like, can you see someone's mindset? Can you look through their mind, through their brain and see it?
No.
No. So all you can see is what?
Their outside health.
The expression of it.
Results of it.
The outcome of it, the expression of it. Right? So mindset is composed of three things. What is it?
The mind, body, and spirit.
No. Mindset is composed of three things. What is it?
I take a shot. Thought, action. Don't know the last one, but maybe action and thought.
Thought is one of them. What's the other two? Some of you have been on here for weeks. Speak up, because I will call you. Huh?
Belief.
Belief. What's the last one?
Outcome? Results?
Nope.
Word?
Is it will?
Nope.
Feelings?
Knowledge?
Yes. Feeling.
Oh, who said that?
My man right there in the right corner up there. Yes.
Okay.
Feeling. Your mindset is based on your thought, your feelings, and your beliefs. Those three things compose a mindset. Your mindset is what is actively going on, right? And it flows from your consciousness, what you believe yourself to be. So as a result of your self-concept and your self-esteem, you have a collection of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that come from that support that. That say, as a result of me thinking about myself this way, the idea I have of myself and the value I've placed on that idea, I now will do these things. I now will think these things. I now have these type of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that because of the way I see myself and value myself. That's why I think and feel and believe what I do. That's it. That's it. So when people talk about mental health, the universe is mental. All is mind. If you don't have your mind, you don't have health. Let's get that clear. There is no mental health. Your health is mental. It is based on your mind. It is based on your consciousness. Are you aware of being healthy? Do you have the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs of a healthy person? If you don't, vitamins ain't gonna save you. Organic ain't gonna save you. None of these things are gonna save you. They're not, because they're going contrary to your nature. They're not doing that. They can only do what you allow them to do. When someone comes into your house, right? All right, give me a volunteer. Who's willing to volunteer real quick?
I'm ready.
I'll go.
All right. Yeah, no, my man right there in the black shirt with the red circle. I can see you. Yes, sir. Okay, my fault. Let's just say, give me a rule of your house. Like when somebody comes in, they got to do that.
Take your shoes off.
Take your shoes off. Okay. So now who is that rule for?
Everybody who comes in my house.
Everyone who comes in your house. Now, Johnny, I think I see you up there. I think you're driving. Hold on to the wheel tight, because it's about to get shaky up in here. So my man right there said, everyone that comes to the house. Did everybody hear him say everyone, right?
Yes.
Everyone. So that means regardless of who they were before they got to your doorstep, this is how it's going to be when they come through that threshold. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's Chad. We met him.
Oh, it's about to happen. It's about to happen. Oh, it's about to happen. This is why we're here. It's about to happen. It's about to happen. So you said everyone that comes into your house has to take their shoes off. Everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter who they were, they had to take their shoes off when they come in your house. Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, everybody. It doesn't matter who they are, right? Your mama, right? Everybody got to do it. Okay.
Yes.
And why do you have the ability to do that?
Because it's my house.
Because it's your house. Okay. So if I decide that I am going to, okay. So prayer over food. You know how people pray over their food? Right? Okay.
Yep.
What is the difference between praying over your food and the rule you just made that everybody has to take their shoes off in the house? What is the difference between those two? There you go.
I mean, I would say that one is, well, they're both. I guess they're rules to you. I guess so. But when I pray over my food, I'm thanking God for the food that was provided for me. But when I tell people to take their shoes off, then that's a rule. I need you to take your shoes off so you don't dirty up my floors.
Okay.
So, but I mean, so it could be a huge difference, or it could be just a matter of fact that it's just a rule to you.
It's just a rule to you. The people who first started praying over their food did that long before that they weren't. That's not what they were. That's not what they were. That's not why they were doing it. The people who first started praying over their food were what you call alchemists, metaphysicians. Those are the people that knew that they were expressions of God. That's the difference. So what they were saying to the food was, I don't care who you were before you come in here, but when you come in here, you're going to act like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you're going to roll.
Skin Health Essentials in the chat said, what people believe is necessary.
Yes, right? Meaning when anything that comes into your house, that comes across the threshold, what is your house physically? That's your body. And you're the owner of it. So when you decide to bring something into your house, that it is different than saying, if you want to, let's just say, give thanks for what you have. You want to take a moment of silence, so to speak, right? If you want to take a moment of awareness to say, hey, I'm grateful for this thing that I'm about to interact with, whether it's food or a person, that's different than simply saying, this is the rule. This is my house. This is my house. And so this is my rule, that anything that comes into my body is good to me and good for me, period. It has no more say over your body than somebody coming into your house. I don't care if you killed 5 people. I don't care if you're a rapper. I don't care if you're famous. I don't care if you're my mama, my brother. Take your shoes off when you come in this house. I don't care what you look like in the world. I don't care what type of food you are. I don't care if you're organic, inorganic. I don't really care about that. I say if I decide to let you in my house, this is the rule. That is what people did when they were praying over their food. They understood that food had an energy and you had an energy, but you were the authority. So you said, if I decide to let you in, you are going to obey the rules of my house, period. That's how this works. It's not optional. Broccoli don't get to just be anything. You don't just get but the whole point of saying that to say is that it's the same concept. It's the same principle. It's the same reason why things work or don't work, because we have rules. And everything on the outside has to obey it when it comes into our territory. Right? So when I was young, I used to pray over my food all the time. I was raised to do that. And I ain't nothing mad at it. I'm not saying don't do it. What I'm trying to get everybody to understand is it's not about what you do. You need to understand why you're doing what you're doing so you can get the benefits of it. You need to understand why you're doing it. I used to pray over my food all the time. Then one day I was sitting there, because hopefully you guys can tell, I like to talk about a lot of things, but I'm not just talking. Like, I sit down, I study all week, not just for this call because this is what I do, but I study all week. I'm not up here just rambling and just, even though I'm talking crazy half the time, but I'm not just rambling and this or that, right? I'm actually studying, paying attention, I'm listening to things, watching, I'm preparing all the time. I was sitting there one day thinking, I said, okay, if I pray over my food, how long does a prayer take? 10 seconds, 15 seconds? Okay, if I live 24 hours in a day, what am I going to say over this 10 or 15 seconds that's going to change what I'm thinking about the rest of the 23 hours and 45 seconds? What am I going to say right now that's actually going to overrule everything else? So if I'm sick, if I'm like, man, I always get sick. So I'm thinking that 23 hours and 45 seconds. What am I going to say in this 50? Are you guys really telling me that in 15 seconds, you can go from what you're thinking all day to hell in 15 seconds, like some kind of rocket jet? Is that what we're saying? Are we saying that we literally can think any way we want all day about something, and in 15 seconds, this thing is going to be different than the rest of my day, the rest of my thoughts and everything else? Is that what we're saying? Is that, I'm not even saying it's wrong. I'm just simply that, is that what because that's what you're saying. That if we're giving thanks for something, that's different. It's good to give thanks, to call your mom and say, hey man, just thank you for everything. I'm an adult now. I realize, man, going to football practice, I realized what an hour away really meant. Giving thanks for something is different. It's an expression of your level of awareness of something. That is cool. What I'm saying to you is you are not in right thinking if you think you can have the consciousness of being sick all day, and in 15 seconds, now this thing is going to be different to you and for you. It's not. It is going to obey the rules of your house. I don't care what you said to it. It is because you have a consciousness of being sick. So it is literally going to act like you. That's what the people who started praying over their food understood, that the food is not the authority. I'm the authority. So according to what I say it is, when it comes in here, it's going to obey the rules of my house. Take your shoes off, man. I don't care who you are, what you are. You're going to act like this when you come in here. Where if you don't understand that in 15 seconds worth of praying over your food, besides just being aware that you're grateful for something, that's cool. But if you think that's going to change your sick thinking into health in 15 seconds, then we're not thinking properly. That's not true. That's not true. What I want you to do is think 23 minutes and 45 seconds worth of health. I am healthy. Everything I eat is good to me and good for me. Everything I put on my body and in my body is working for me. It's giving me its best. It's for my highest and best good. I'm creating a consciousness of wealth. I'm attaching myself to it. I'm not creating it. I'm attaching myself to it. Right? So that everything I do is because of that. So I wouldn't put anything unhealthy in my body, not because I say something is unhealthy, so to speak. It's because I only put something I'm naturally impelled toward. I'm inspired toward behaviors, thoughts, actions, and feelings that match my consciousness, that come from my consciousness. If you think sick all day and think you're going to take vitamins, it ain't going to help. Oh man, I got the flu. I think I just need to drink some water. That ain't going to help. You were drinking water the day before. If it couldn't stop it from coming, what's it going to do now? I want us to understand that mental health is nothing but you don't have health if you don't have your mind. All physical disease is the effect of dis-ease. Dis-ease is mental. Dis-ease. You are uncomfortable mentally. And your mind is invisible. And so the world is a place to express what you are thinking invisibly to a visible form. You don't know someone can paint until they have a canvas. You don't know what someone can do until they have a place to express it. This world is a place for us to express all of our thoughts, what we're thinking and feeling and believing to be true. We have to have a place to see it, to feel it, right? So what I'm saying to you is that there is no such thing as mental health the way people are talking about it. That's why people can't fix it, because they're not addressing the real issue, right? If you have a mental health challenge, what you have essentially is your mind is dis-eased. It means it is disconnected, is detached from ease. It's not peaceful. There's something that's agitating it, bothering it, annoying it. There's something that's happening there. And so it needs a physical place to express it. Guess where that physical place is? Guess where that canvas is? Guess where that piece of paper is that the writer's using? It's your body first. It's your body. So now what you're doing is you're taking a whole bunch of drugs, a whole bunch of pills, a whole bunch of wheatgrass, drinking a whole bunch of water, buying a whole bunch of organic with the same thought. With the same thought. So now you're trying to outwork the thought, but you can't do that. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, our body, we're trying to outwork the thought with the body, but the body goes to sleep. The mind doesn't. That's why you still have dreams. So how are you going to do it? How are you going to stay up long enough? How are you going to outwork your mind? I mean, I know grinding is a thing. I do know that. I know people love to talk about it, love to rap about it, sing about it, sang about it. They love to do everything with it. But how are you actually going to physically outwork your mind when your mind never sleeps? Whether it's conscious and you're thinking, or whether it's unconscious and you're dreaming. That thing is awake 24 hours a day until you so-called die. How are you going to, so you're going to stay awake up? We're going to stay awake that long? I mean, I know they got 5-hour energy. I know they got organic coffee. I know they got sodas. They got all kind of stuff that you can, caffeine, but are you really going to stay awake physically your whole life? Is that what we're doing here? You can't outwork your mind. You can't outwork the consciousness of being sick, the consciousness of being poor, the consciousness. You can't outwork your consciousness. It's either working for you or against you according to what it is you're aligned with. I am not telling anybody don't pray over your food. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, yes, be grateful for it, but don't think that you're actually doing something that you're not. If you're thinking sick all day and think 15 seconds is going to save you, it's not. If you're worried about everything, that's all you're going to get. It's literally obeying the rules of your house. What are your rules? What are you aware of being? Right? I'm trying to get us to understand that we got rules for everything. Hey man, don't eat that in my car. No, you ain't no eating in here. Hey, take your shoes off when you come in the house. Hey man, don't go in my bedroom, go and sit in the living room or whatever, right? We have rules for everything physical, but we have no rules for ourselves. We have no rules for our mind. We'll think anything. Anything. We'll go out and spend $200 at Whole Foods or some kind of organic place, spend $200 and then come home and be like, and say, and sneeze and be like, oh man, I think I'm getting sick. Well, you just wasted $200. You might just throw that food in the trash, or maybe try to resell it, because it is not going to save you. You're going to be laid up in the bed. It'll take a day or two, but you've already figured that out. You've already said it. That's what you believe. And you can't outwork your belief. You can't outbuy it. You can't purchase it. You can't stay up all night. You can't brand it. There's nothing you can do to get away from yourself. That's what I'm trying to get all of us to understand. This is not positive thinking. It's thinking positively. There's an art to it. You learn how to think in your favor at all times. Right? So we're going to do another one. We're going to, let's see here. Who has, I need somebody who has, another person who has, because everybody wants to talk about business. So let's talk about it. Let's just talk all about it. Who else? I need a volunteer who has a business.
I do, and I volunteer.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. I want you to think about someone you love. Pick anybody.
Okay.
Okay. Now I want you to describe them. Describe them to us. Not personal, but just describe them to us.
Okay. So I'm thinking about my daughter. She is exciting and dynamic and full of life and prepared for life and seeking her own brilliant existence.
Okay. Tell me about your business.
I own a body care company, natural products, to bring back people's
Okay, stop. Could anybody tell the difference?
Yes, I know my daughter better than I know my business.
See you guys next week.
He dropped the marker.
That's it.
Did we lose it?
I don't even know where the marker is now. See, you made me drop it and I lost it. Right? So, right? Okay, so stay right there. LaTanya? I see your face still on here. I don't know if you're still here.
I'm here. Here.
Yeah. So now, do you see why we talked about self-esteem, self-concept? Do you see where we talked about everything starts with us?
Yes.
Yeah, guess what? Branding couldn't save her, right? Her business couldn't save her, right? Right? This is what I'm talking about to everyone. How are you going to have you mentioned someone you loved, right? And so look at how you described her. Look at how easy it was to you. Look at how
we could feel it too. We could feel how she loves her.
You can feel it. You can feel it. So guess what? That feeling that we got from her in business, what would you call that? Like it's something that we're getting from you. What would people in business call that? What would they be doing in that? What would they call that?
Emotional intelligence?
No, when you have a business and you are trying to get customers, what do you do to try to get them?
Is that marketing?
Marketing. What LaTanya and I'm sure all of us picked up, was your marketing. We picked up the way you felt about your thing.
Yes.
It didn't have to be fancy. We don't even know your name. We don't know where you live. We don't care because what you said was clear. We don't need to know your name, where you live. We don't need to know if you're 6 feet or 2 feet. We don't need to know anything about you. We got everything we needed to know in 15 seconds. When you can talk about your business the way you talk about someone you love, then you own. Until you can, or if you can't, you're not on to the way you could be.
Best lesson I've had in 5 years, right there.
That's what so when I tell you every week we're talking about business, I am. We are. I understand why we're here. That's why I say this is not positive thinking. This is not some place to come in for 2 hours and be like, woo, woo, and walk out and be like, woo, I'm feeling good. 2 hours, go to brunch, go to buffet, go to Sizzler, go to, you know what? Yeah, back in, right? They were like, this is not that. This is for us to take and say, oh, shoot, that's why. That's why people aren't getting how much I love this thing. I can't even talk about it with that same type of love. What am I missing? There's something I'm missing here, right? And so when now that you understand that, now that we all understand that, that's what you do. That is your best marketing. That's your best advertising. When you can talk about your business like you talk about your daughter, when LaTanya, you can talk about your business the way you talk about your child, when all of us can talk about what we do the same way we talk about someone we love, everyone will get that. Everyone will understand it in 15 seconds. You know how much money you'll save on marketing and advertising? You won't even need to do half of the stuff you're doing. The reason you're doing it is because you're trying to get your marketing and advertising to sound different than you.
It's been cold.
You're trying for it to look different than you. And it doesn't. It looks exactly like you. Your business looks exactly like you. Your money looks exactly like you. Your health looks exactly like you. They're all the same because they're not living things. They're only things that you, the life giver, give life to, and therefore it's only alive according to you. It's only as big as your breath. It's only as great and grand as your mind. Does that make sense to you? Right? Does that make sense to us? Like I want us to understand that. If you can understand that, now your business will go all the way off and all the way up. Your brand is the physical expression of your concept of the business. Now, if I ask another question, let's say, oh yeah, I see my sis on here. I'm gonna get her on the mic now. Yeah, I see you. Yeah, I see you. All right, Tosh, I want to hear you. So, I want you. So you're thinking about. I want you to think about someone you love, and I want you to think about your relationship with them. Now, I want you to talk to me about your business just like you would talk, like it's the same relationship you have with that person you love. I want you to talk about your business like it's a relationship.
All right, thanks. So my business, man, it's dope. It's amazing. What I do is I run a rental car business. I provide excellent customer service to all of my guests. I run it through Turo. In addition to running my business, I also teach people how to start, how to grow their rental car business. That's it.
That's it. So when you can describe your relationship, when you can talk about your business like it's someone you love, and you can describe the relationship to your business, you have a relationship with your business, just like a person you love, like your daughter, like your brother, like your father, like your son, there's a relationship. And can you describe your business that you love, because it's your business, so I'm assuming you love it, right? Not like a person, but like it's something that you created. It's an expression of you. You should love it. Otherwise, nobody else is. So when you can describe your business, with the relationship you have with your business, the way you describe the relationship you have with someone you love, people are going to get that immediately. And it sounds different. All the stuttering, all the stammering, all the branding, all the marketing, all the advertising, all the words go out the window. It's just smooth. It's just like, so somebody who don't know you or don't know anything you do will be like, oh yeah, smooth as syrup. That's just smooth as warm butter. I was just out in Atlanta 2 weeks ago, and I was looking at somebody's biscuits, and somebody's about to get robbed, in a diner. I was like, damn, I should have ordered that. I wonder, I don't know. I wonder if they'll let me have a piece. I started to go, I looked at I said, look, I looked at the food and I looked at the door. I said, if I snatch a piece of their food, can I get out the door before they catch me? Because if I can get in the door, I'm pretty fast. If I can just get out. So but I said, you know what? The place is too crowded. People stand in the door. I don't want to go to jail in a whole nother state across the country because I'm from California where everybody's nice. Over there, people going to put you in jail for real in the South. I'm not that tough. I'm going to stay out of it. But I was looking at it. I was looking at it though. I'm just going to, we're here to tell the truth. That's what I do. Right. So I'm saying that to say, that's what I want. That's what I want everybody to understand. We are talking about business every week. When you can talk about your business like you talk about someone you love, when you can talk about this is how my business goes, this is how we work together. I have a marvelous, successful business doing what I love. I have infinite clients who love what I have to offer, love to pay me what I want, and love to refer others who do the same. When you can talk it like that, what you think you got? What you think people are hearing? That's marketing. That's advertising. They hear you. That's better than any commercial you can sell, and you saved you a whole lot of money, which you can now give to me. How about that? Right? Right? This is how you do it. This is how you do it. I want you to understand that your business is a concept in your mind. And according to that concept, that idea in your mind, that is how it's going to go. But the concept that you have is based on the conceiver, which is you. So if your esteem is low, if your self-concept, if the idea of yourself is low, what do you think your business is going to be? This is not rocket science. This is not like, no, this is, I'm trying to get you to understand it. If you can see the vision in your mind, you can have it. You can do it. But the vision has to have a visioner. It has to have a person. Who are you? What is your idea of yourself? How are things supposed to go for your business? How are things supposed to go for your money? How are things supposed to go for yourself? How are things supposed to go for your health? How is that supposed to be? Right? These are things I want us all to understand. I got a business just like you guys. Just like most of us here are entrepreneurs. I got a business just like everybody else. Right? And I wanted to succeed and live just like everyone else. But I understand, I've come to the understanding, and I'm always learning. I'm always reading, always listening, always studying, always, because I'm trying to figure out I'm realizing the more I can grow, the more I can grow everything else outside of me. That I'm the plug. Everything is being plugged into me. My business, my health, my money, my relationships, my success, my peace, my joy, everything is being plugged into me. So you got to upgrade the outlet. Some of us rolling on 120s and we trying to charge Teslas, and it's going to take you 16 hours. Josh will tell you, you can't have no low-grade volt trying to charge no car. It ain't going to work. They'll tell you with all these cars, it ain't going to work. You can't be in no Prius talking about you about to get in a NASCAR race.
Yeah, I see an X over there.
Yeah, you can't, it's like, oh yeah, man, I want to get my bread up. So I'm about to, do some late night racing. Well, what kind of car you buy? Man, I went and got me a Prius. What you gonna do with that? You couldn't at least get a Honda. You can't win with what? Everybody said.
Don't be hating on a Prius.
I mean, has anybody said something this past week? Has anybody said something so stupid to you, it just made you mad? You weren't even mad. It just made you mad. You just look like, it almost like they slapped you. You were like, did you just say that? Were you thinking at all? Did that make any sense at all? No, right? So I want us to start making sense in our mind. I want us to start understanding something. So when we talk about this business, describe it like someone you love. When you talk about your business, describe it like, describe the relationship like you out here winning. Like you out here winning. I want you to understand, like you win and you'll start winning. You'll start winning, right?
Yeah, in the chat, yes, I have had this experience this week.
Yes. Yes, man. People be saying some stuff, but this is what we do here. We start becoming conscious and aware of what we're saying and what we're thinking. Like, yeah, okay, because then we can realize, oh, okay, now I see where I'm not winning. I see where I went wrong here. That's cool. I can fix it. We can fix it. right? I just see where I went wrong. A lot of times we're doing stuff and we don't know where we went wrong. We don't know why why it's not working out, but we're spending all our time, all our money, all our effort. We really are trying hard, right? But I want you to realize that you cannot outwork your mind. Most of us have, all of us have been children, and a lot of us, I'm sure, have children. When you go on a field, when your child wants to go on that field trip, or when you want to go on a field trip, what's the first thing you had to get? Anyone?
In the chat, permission.
Permission. So when you want to be successful in your life, right? You want to be healthy, wealthy, whatever else you want to be. What's the first thing you have to get? Permission. Permission from who?
So,
permission from who?
Yourself.
Yourself. Who is that? Stop just saying so. Who is that? Who is that? Who is yourself? When you say self, what do you mean? I know what I mean. What do you mean? You need to know what you mean. When you say self, Tosh, what do you mean?
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, I'm on my phone.
Okay.
Figuring out the mute button. But when I say self, what do I mean?
Yes.
That was the question, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So when I say self, I mean me. I mean a creative. I mean love. I mean, there's a lot of things to describe me. But I mean, you look confused.
All right. Okay. Who's next?
I'm sorry. I'm at home. Today's my birthday, and my mom is walking by whispering
stuff.
Happy
birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. I don't care.
She wants her daughter to look good. So she's like, so that's why I'm like, it's people talking. But
that's good. Happy birthday.
Thank y'all.
Sis. Happy birthday. All right. Who's next? When you say self, what do you mean?
The personification of my beliefs.
The personification of your beliefs. Okay. Your beliefs and what else? What are you missing? Mindset. What's in there?
Your thoughts and feelings.
Your thoughts and feelings. The personification of your thoughts, feelings, and your beliefs. And whose are those? Whose are they?
Those are mine.
They're yours. So then whose job is it to decide?
Mine.
Whose job is it to maintain?
Mine.
Notice who you didn't say. Your friends, your mom, your dad, your brother. They don't believe in me. They don't understand me. They don't know why I'm this. I can't. What does that got to do with you? It's your mind. It's your beliefs. It's your life. It's your thought. It's your feeling. It's your self-concept. It's your self-esteem. If you give it away, don't be mad you don't have it. Don't be mad. You gave it away. You didn't get it. It wasn't robbed. You weren't robbed. It wasn't stolen from you. You gave it away.
Yeah.
They are your ideas. Yes.
This is why they don't matter.
They don't matter. But it's not because we're better than them, or they're better than us. It's because they don't have a right to be in a certain lane, like on a highway or a freeway, right? We can ride next to each other, but we can't ride in the same lane at the same space at the same time. There's only room for one, right? So in the lane of your life, you have your self-concept, your self-esteem, your self-beliefs, right? You have your mindset, your mentality. That is yours to govern. That is yours to keep in between the lines. It's yours to gauge the speed. It's yours to pay attention to the exits. It's yours to pay attention to. Somebody else could be riding right next to you. They could have a thought. They could have an opinion. They could go in front of you, go in back of you, get off the highway. That's on them. But this is your life. And so if you want to be free, you have to be the governing entity, authority of it. It doesn't mean you can't. What do they say? There's wisdom in the multitude of counsel. Doesn't mean you can't listen to other people if you ask for advice or mentorship, right? Or it doesn't mean that. But it does mean this. Even though we're all at the beach and we're all using the same sand, everybody doesn't build the same sandcastle. Everybody has their own concept of what a castle is, how big it is, how good they are at it. So we might be using the same stuff, but that don't make us the same. That doesn't make us the same. You have to be, we are not an island unto ourselves. We didn't come here to be by ourselves, but we still are. We came in and we're going out by ourselves. So no matter how big of a group we're in, no matter how much we are a part of society, there's still an aspect of ourselves that we have to be self-governing. And that starts up here. This is where mental health is. It's the concept of health in your mind. If you lose that concept, you lose your mind. If you lose your mind, you lose your health, period. That is where health starts. This is where health is created. This is where health is maintained. It's here. It's here. So that's when we talk about a lot of these other concepts that we talk about all the time, because that's where it's maintained. This is your manufacturer. This is where you take it back to get it fixed. This is where you take it back. If it ain't working, you go back into your mind and you rework it. Instead of saying, I am poor, say, I am wealthy, or I am rich, or all my needs are met, all my bills are paid, whatever it is that you want to say to yourself. But a lot of times, I'm going to get ready to transition a little bit because I'm going to give us some things that we can do. But last thing I'll say to you is, everybody, assignment, and I will be asking next week, and I'm going to write it down on this wall in permanent marker to make sure I remember, because I will be asking. So if you didn't do the homework, don't show up, because I'm probably going to call on you. I'm gonna make sure I call on. I'm gonna look at people's eyes too. I'm gonna look for guilt. I'm gonna look for people trying to avoid eye contact. I'm looking at everybody. So this is what I want everyone to do. I want everyone to sit down for 20 minutes sometime this week. Just 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Sit down and be quiet. Get a piece of paper and a pen and just sit there at your desk, on your chair, just somewhere you can write. And I want you to sit down and write, not all of them, but the real ones. The things that really capture you, not the fancy, the fleeting ones. I want you to sit down and write. I want you to write the thoughts that come to your mind. When you sit there and quiet for 20 minutes, and the ones that get you, the ones that catch you, not the ones that just go by like, oh, I need to go to the store. Not necessarily those, but I want you to sit down for 20 minutes and write all the thoughts that come into your mind. And just write them. Don't do anything with them. Just write them. Then after it's over, take 5 minutes and just walk away. Come back and read that paper. Boy, what you see there, you're going to think it's somebody else. Half of you going to think it's a serial killer. Other half of you going to think, you're still 12 years old. Other half of you going to think like, who is this, a man? I thought it was a woman. You're not going to you're going to see that. I'm not even going to tell you what you're going to see, but you'll see. You'll see. And I say that to say this. If your self-concept is the most important thing, and then that determines your self-esteem, and the combination of those two determine, right, what you believe you are, what you become conscious of being and aware of being. If you don't know what that is, how do you fix it? People talk about saying affirmations and everything like that, but how do you know what your issue is if you don't ever delve into it? When I'm just talking to everyone generally. When I'm working with people and they want to change something in their life, I'm looking at the business they want, and then I'm looking at them. Everybody thinks, well, my business is not selling. No, you're not selling. No, my business is failing. No, you are failing. Everybody thinks it's this thing. How could it be this thing? This thing is not living. You made the business. You named the business. You own the business license. You own the business insurance. It is not a living thing. It's only alive according to you. How could it be failing and you be successful? Where do they do that? I haven't been to school in a while, but that don't really make sense to me. It's not adding up. I did this. I did the plus and this. I did the equal, and it didn't add up. It's not working. So if a lot of times we're trying to say, oh, I'm poor. Oh, I'm rich. But why are you poor? And I don't mean as a guilt excuse. I'm saying what consciousness are you having about money, or about health, or about the things in your life? Why are you feeling that way? Why do you believe you have to be sick every flu season? Or why do you believe that money is hard to make, or it goes out faster than it comes in? Like, why do we do that? Yes.
Natasha put in the chat, the math ain't mathing.
No, it ain't. It's not even an M in the math now. It's just athing. Ain't nothing happening. Right. So what I want you to do is sit there for 20 minutes and write, and just quiet, just 20 minutes sometime this week, and write down what you thought. Just write down what you're thinking. Walk away for 5 minutes and come back and look at it and see what you wrote down. You're going to see what's going on in your mind, and then you can fix it. It doesn't mean something. You're going to see good things. You're going to see some things like, oh, I better not show this list to anybody. Otherwise, boy, I'm either going to jail, or I'm getting divorced, or something's going to happen. I'm getting kicked out. Something's going to happen. But you're going to see that there's things that are going on inside of you don't realize because they've been there so long. We are not just 1 year old, none of us. So we have thoughts that we've been thinking for a long time. And they're almost like clothes or like trophies or like, jackets in the back of a closet. They've been there so long, we forgot when we bought it. We don't even remember if it's ours. We'd be like, is this mine? This is my cousin? Ooh, I wouldn't even wear nothing like this. And somebody walking be like, no, girl, that was you. You bought that when you thought you were SWV and thought you were out here talking about I'm weak in the knees. And that was one of the coats they were wearing in the video and you just had to have it. Like, man, homie, bro, you thought you were Boys to Men. You thought when they were talking about the end of the road and you got the coat and they're like, come on, man, that was you. So there's a lot of things that we've had for a long time that we don't realize are in there. There are a lot of thoughts we have, a lot of self-concepts we have, a lot of things that we don't realize we're thinking and feeling about ourselves or about life and our relationship to it. And boy, it's causing havoc. But we're not compensating for it. We're not realizing it's there to make adjustments, to either eliminate it, to support it, to fix it, to heal it. We don't realize that. I'm not saying we got to go back into every life trauma we've had. I ain't talking about, I'm just saying our mind is constantly running. And a lot of times we just don't realize what it is because we're having so many thoughts. What is it? What do they say? Like 70, 80,000 thoughts a day or something like that, right? I want us to have a little better, capture it a little bit. So in that 20 minutes, you'll be able to capture just a little bit. And if you realize what's in there, just think if you spend an hour. Just think if you spent 20 minutes a day. I just said one time a week. Just this week once. But I will be asking. I'm looking at everybody's eyeballs and even the people whose screens ain't on. I'm remembering names and everything else because I will be calling and everyone else. Justin, I'll be calling you with the disco light in the back. I'll be calling on you if you're back next week. I'll be calling on my man up there driving with the seatbelt on. Yeah, I'll be calling on. Jeremy, you've been quiet, but I will be calling on you too, which, I know you got your suit on and everything in the picture. John, with your hand on your chin, like you Socrates. I will be calling on you people. So don't get me upset. I don't want to pick the marker up again. Just don't get me upset. Okay. So 20 minutes, sit down and quiet, write down what you think. Walk away for 5 minutes and just come look at the paper. Don't judge it. Don't condemn it. Don't criticize it, but look at it. Observe it like a business person would objectively, like you're looking at a profit loss statement. Look at it and just say, damn, I didn't know I thought that. I didn't know I was thinking about that. I didn't know that. And it'll just give you a little bit better insight into just a small part of your consciousness so that you can start cleaning it, changing it, remodeling it, doing it like that. And then you'll start to see, man, you'll take off in a lot of ways. All right, here we go. So we're going to talk about a couple things, 3 things, and then we'll do questions and then we'll get out of here. All right. I always call this first part, right? Order your day. Order your day. All right. So when we go into a restaurant, right? Does anybody just sit down in there and be like, give me what you got? Anybody be like, hey man, I'm just here and I'm just, I just want to be, I want to be grateful for what I have. God never put anything on me more than I can handle. Sit down, just start saying stuff. And they be like, man, what the hell do you want? What do you want? What does that got to do? Did you look at the menu? Do you know where you are? What, right? So when we go to a restaurant, right, and we sit down with that menu, we're ordering. That makes sense so far. Everybody follow me, right? Because I don't want this to get strange. Everybody follow me. Reading. What do you guys always say? Put a 1 in the chat. If you, everybody's doing. I wanted to do it once. I wanted to at least try it. That ain't really my thing, but I thought I would try it. Yeah, I thought I would try it. Like put a 1 in the chat. Push 1 for yes.
For engagement.
Okay, well, I have learned it. It's tactical. Okay, that's it. All right. Okay. So, right. So you sit in a restaurant, you order. Right? And then based on what you order, you have an expectation of what you're going to get back. And you order because of what you want to experience. Right? You didn't come in and say, give me what you got, hope it works out or whatever else it is. Okay. First thing we're going to do now, we're going to do 3 things this week. I want everyone to do every day. Everybody hear what I'm saying? Everyone to do every day. You're not too busy. Take time and you'll save time. If you get your mind right, your life will go better. It'll go faster. You get your mind right, what took you 30 minutes, next week will take you 14. You'll save time. Get yourself together, get your mind right. You'll be more effective, more efficient, right? You'll save time. First thing you're going to do is order your day. Order your day. John, I haven't heard from you today, man. Jeremy, get ready because I'm coming for you too. John, I haven't heard from you today. Hopefully you're here and well and ready because I'm ready. Order your day. John, what do you think that means?
There's two Johns in here.
Oh, there's two John. I'm talking about my man John who's been here from day one. Yes, that one. Yeah, surprise. I don't know if you guys heard. Yeah, that's what I'm not gonna say that. NWA back in then. It's not.
Yeah.
John, sir, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
No, not you, Johnny. The other John, Socrates on the bottom, with a hand on the chin. Oh man, no, with the one with the hand on the chin.
Here.
Oh, that's me.
No, not you.
He's having hours.
Oh, all right, cool. All right. So then, all right. No, you know what? No, because you guys have all spoke. Jeremy, are you here, sir?
I am here.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
That's right. Feliz Navidad.
I can
Hello,
unmute now.
John, you're a failure. You took too long. You're fired. I'll be back to you. Jeremy, you're up. You're fired, John.
Okay.
You're out. Jeremy, order your day. What does that mean?
It means start your day off knowing exactly what you want to do and what you want to achieve during the day.
Okay. So, yes. So, give me an example of ordering your day. Give me an example of that.
Kind of like what you said earlier about taking the time in silence, writing down all the thoughts that come to your mind. So kind of doing the same, but just taking the time and thinking intentionally about what you have to do during the day or what you want to do during the day.
And what else? And why are you doing that?
So that you operate during the day with intent.
What do you order food at a restaurant for?
To get the food that you want to eat.
Yeah. So do you eat with intent? Right? No,
yeah.
You order because you want to eat something that's going to make you feel the way you want, get you as full as you want, that you like. And so you are ordering something that you want to experience. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? Order your day. So to everyone, order your day. Sit down and order your day like you order a meal. Like you go to a restaurant and you order, and guess what? You decide what restaurant you go to. If you don't want chicken, you don't go to a chicken place. If you don't want pizza, you don't go to a pizza place. Right? So don't go places in your mind you don't want to order from. Don't go to debt. Don't go to my back is hurting today. Don't go to it's raining, so my knee is gonna start acting up. Don't go to places that you don't want to order from because there ain't nothing good to get from there. You can't have bad thoughts thinking there's going to be some kind of good thing in it. It ain't. That's why it's called a bad thought, poor thought, because it's a thought, right? And it's not designed for you to change. It's designed for you to pick something different. Don't go up in a pizza place talking about, hey, what kind of salads you guys got? Just knock it off. Go somewhere where it's supposed to be. Stop trying to change places, man. Stop trying to just go to the right place from the beginning. So everybody order your day. Sit down and say, this is what I want for my day. I'm ordering this day. This is the type of things that I want to do, to be, to have, to experience. And so that at the end of the day, I can feel satisfied like I do when I'm walking out of a restaurant. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay, perfect. I'm assuming it does. Socrates, John, you back on, man. Get it right, because otherwise you're going to get fired again.
I'm here, man.
There you go. All right. My dude. All right, here we go. So now, that's one. Number two, like we talked about, expectations. Expectations are, if I say, all right, if I say, when I say expectation, I'm saying, what are you expecting? What are you assuming to get out of? Now, this is more for you personally. Okay. So if I say, John, if I say expectations, if I say, John, your mind, if I say mind, what expectations do you have of your mind today?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that question, because I've had some different things happen to me recently. I'll say probably in the last maybe 4 or 5 months, career changes, all those type of things. So as far as the mind goes, when I get up in the morning, After having done something for 19 years and then having to make a career change like suddenly, the first thing that goes to my mind when I get up in the morning is one, mental balance, focus, trying to see what's on my agenda for the day. Because with the changes that I've had to make, not only have I had to switch gears on how I think, I've had to adjust. Like I said, I've been doing something for 19 years. How are things now? What are the things to expect with a new career change? What is the mindset? So having to change focus, stream of thought, as well as rebalance myself for success.
So when I say mind, when I say something, I'm going to get to a couple of things. When I say mind, I'm asking you, what do you expect your mind to do for you today?
I expect output from my mind today. All that I've been focusing on, I expect to see those things come into fruition. I'm not trying to be facetious when I say that, but I'm saying I expect whatever big or small things I have on just for today, these 24 hours agenda, I expect to accomplish those things.
Okay. If I say health.
Health?
Yeah, health.
Just waking up in the morning and getting that first breath. That's what comes to my mind.
Okay. So
I didn't have to wake up this morning.
Perfect. Okay. So now I'm gonna show you guys what I mean exactly. Expectations. Thank you, sir. Perfect. Mind. If I say mind, if I were to say to myself mind, I would say something like, it doesn't matter exactly what you say, it's whatever comes to your mind, but you're talking about what is your expectation of your mind today? My mind is clear and calm and peaceful. I always know everything I need to know and what I need to do about it. I'm always thinking properly and clearly. Right? I'm saying this is what I want my mind to do for me today. This is my expectation of it today. This is how I want it to perform for me today. If I say health, I could say like, man, I'm always happy, healthy, and safe. Everything I eat is good to me and good for me. Everything I put on my body or in my body is good to me and good for me. I'm always in perfect health. I'm perfect, whole, and complete. Right? If I say money, right? Latanya, you back on. I hope you're still here because you're back on.
I am here.
That's right. Latanya, if I say money, what's your expectation today?
For me and my business?
Do you want money or not? What do you mean for you and your business?
Yes, my expectation is money flows to me easily.
You see, that's it. What does that got? What's the difference between you and your business? Do you want it to flow to you easily and your business go dry, or do you want it vice versa? There is no. If you know your business is you, why did you just separate it?
You're right.
How did you just say me and my business? Have you not been listening to me ranting for 2 hours?
I am. I listen. I'm just trying to be deep and simple. That's my problem. Thank you for your help.
No, does that make sense? Right?
Yes.
Yes. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly. I always have more than I can use or need. Right? My leaf is always green and my tree never ceases to bear fruit. Right? Everyone loves if you're talking about your business. Okay. All right, Latanya. All right, business. We'll talk about your business now. So if you say to yourself, business, what is it?
What do I say about my business?
Yeah, business. So we said mind. What is that? What's your expectation? Health? What's your expectation? Money? What's your expectation? Business? What's your expectation?
That I have a prosperous business.
Anybody, did it sound like she believed that? Or did it sound like she just, what? Are we in Vegas? Girl, sound like you gambling like, come on, 21. Come on, come on. Right? Mom needs a new pair of shoes. Come on. Like everybody, I mean, even the people in the black who I can't even see their face and stuff, they're muted, they're blocked out. They didn't even believe it. They look crazy. And I can't even see them.
No, I have a prosperous, growing business.
Okay. So when I say to all of us expectations, what I'm saying is look at areas of your life and say, this is what I expect. Mind, this. Health, this. Money, this. Business, this. It could be friendships. You can apply it to anything in your life. But what is your expectation? We just out in the world hoping we win. We just out here gambling. Ain't nobody hardly going to Vegas on here, but everybody gambling. We just walking out seeing what happens, hoping it works out, hoping the person calls me back, hoping somebody, books one of my cars today, hoping somebody does, I can get a client today, hoping somebody, what if we are the creator of our lives, if that's the truth, then what we hoping for? We're supposed to be creating, not hoping.
Natasha put in the chat, business is booming, AB.
That's it. That's what it is. You shall declare and decree a thing and it shall come to pass. Your word does not come back to you void, but accomplishes all your good pleasure and prospers unto the place whereunto you sent it. That's what it is. You have to start understanding that you are the person you're looking for. That is going according to you. We just have a hard time understanding that because we don't know who we are. We think we're the brand. We think we're this image we made. We think we are marketing and advertising. We think we are our business. We're none of those things. We are the creator of all those things, and they're all going according to us. There ain't nothing but a big mirror looking back. So I want us to condition. When you wake up, Latanya, when you wake up, Jeremy, when you wake up, Todd, all of you who are entrepreneurs, when you say business, what does that mean to you? Say what you mean. Say when you are building, they're building a high school down the street. And I don't know if anybody, I'm sure a lot of you, because you guys are entrepreneurs, you guys understand property. So they're building a high school down the street. And they're building a high school down the street. And so they're building it. Now, we know it's a high school because we live here. But if you guys came and you were walking down the street, you wouldn't know what it was because you don't live here. So, but we're both looking at the same thing. We're looking at the same plot of land, same buildings going up, but we know what it is and you don't. So we're looking at the same thing. So we're going to call it a high school. You would ask what it was. It's not so much. So then what's the point of me saying that? Right? Somebody tell me. I could tell you, but what's the point of me just saying that right there? If we're both looking at the same thing and I can call it what it is and you'll ask what it was, what is the key factor into knowing what's the key factor into calling something what it is? It's only one thing.
Knowing what it is.
Knowing. The high school we're talking about is not even finished, but all of us who know what it is call it a high school. Not because it's finished, because we know what it is. We're already assuming it to be. We make assumptions all the time about everything. What we're doing here is learning how to consciously do that. So when you call your business, when you say Tosh, when Jeremy, when Latanya, when all of us on here who have businesses say, man, I run a multi-million-dollar business. That doesn't mean you go out in the world saying it. You're saying it to yourself. But people will eventually say to you and about you what you first say to and about yourself. It will eventually come back. May take a minute, may take a day, may take a month, but they'll eventually call it to you. They'll eventually call you what you're first calling yourself. We know that to be a high school, not because it looks like it. You can't take any classes in there. Half the buildings don't even have windows in them yet. But we're still calling it today what you will call it, what you would come by in 6 months when it's fully done. You would call it the same thing then, but I can call it that now. But it's only because I know. When you know what your business is and you call it that already, what you think you're going to get? That's what you're going to get. Right? So I want you to understand it's not the way something looks that determines or dictates what it actually is. It's what you know it to be. It's what you know it to be. You're calling something because you know what it is. Right? And so when they're building that, so here's last thing I'll say about that. When they're building that building, anybody who's ever built anything, and you're building something from the ground up. What's the first thing what do you need to do that? Okay, the money, you have the land, but now in order to build something, what do you need?
A plan.
A plan. Now, when they let you start building on the lot, how much of the idea do you have to have? How much of the plan do you have to have?
100%.
Now, right? Because they're not going to let you start digging in the ground and they be like, well, where's the rest of it? Oh man, I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you in a couple weeks. Right? They're not going to even let you start without a plan. What I'm saying to you is, and each step of the plan, they have inspectors, right? That come out and check on it. Now, during those times, you may make little adjustments. oh, the hole is a little deeper than I thought it wanted to be. Because once you get into it, it gets a little deeper from experience than just theory. Cool. It doesn't change all that much, but it changes enough where they inspect, make sure you're doing what you said the plan was. You make a little adjustments here and there. But the point is, you don't get to do anything without the plan. My point is that when you are starting something, when you're starting your business, when you have your business, what is your plan? How successful can you see yourself being? If most of us are on here talking about, I'm going to build it up. Well, I'm going to scale it. I'm gonna create some buzz for it first. People give me all the good words too, boy. People give it to me like they give me some game, and I just be sitting there looking like, let me know, are you finished? Are we done? Is that? Do you have any more of them? I mean, because I know you've been going to some classes, and I know they be telling you all the words, and you listen, and you even memorize them. That's good. That's good. You memorize all 15 of the words they gave you. But my point to you is that you can't build no building like that. They won't even give you a permit to start shoveling anything unless you got the whole plan. It doesn't mean that when you have the whole plan, it can't change and adjust as you start digging in the ground. But the point is that you can't say, I'm going to scale up the building and get back to you while I'm on my way. It doesn't work like that. My point to you is, see your building, call your business a high school, meaning call it the end result of what you desire it to be for the whole reason you dig it in the first place, for the whole reason you started this business in the first place. It's because you wanted it to be something. What is that? And whatever that is to you, don't scale it up. Call it that now in your mind. Talk to it like that now in your mind. Talk to your business like you talk to that person you love. Talk to it every day. It can hear you. It's a living thing because you are the business. You are the life of the business. It's you. Talk to it every day. Like Tosh, you talk to your mom on your birthday. Like Latanya, you talk to your child. Like you talk to your child. Like all of us, talk to your business like it's someone you love. Talk to it. Tell it how great it is. Tell it how great it's going. Tell her how happy you are with it. Tell yourself how successful it is. Tell her how it's always working for you. It's always working with you. You have a great relationship. Talk to it, right? But build it up from, call it a high school. Call it the end thing now. Call it what others will call it later. Call it that now. Not because you can see it any more than they do, but because you have vision. You can see the end from the beginning. Call it the end now. And people will call it the same thing 6 months later. They're going to call this a high school. We calling it that early. We early investors. We angel investors. That's what we doing up in here. Right? And we got 2 minutes. So does everybody understand that? Right? Go to the end. Call it the thing you're going to want to call it when it's 5 years from now and you're making $12 million a year. Call it that now. Don't build it up and wait. Call it that now. That's right. Put a emoji in the chat, if it's like that. All right. Last one. So, right, we have expectations, right? We have order, have expectations. Last one is magnifications.
2 minutes.
Now, magnifications. What happens when we magnify something? Come on, we got 2 minutes. We ain't got time. It gets
bigger and clearer.
It gets bigger. It gets bigger and it gets clearer. Thank you. I see you on the bottom. I don't know which on the bottom.
On the bottom,
yes.
Giovanni.
Huh?
That's
Giovanni?
Yeah, Giovanni. I see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Giovanni. Okay, it gets bigger and clearer. So I want you to magnify 5 things a day that you want to get what?
Bigger and clearer.
Bigger and clearer. So if I said, Giovanni, I want you to give me one thing that you want to magnify.
Mm-hmm.
No, Giovanni.
What I want out of life. What I truly want out of life, I need to magnify and get bigger and clear because I have visions, but they're not as concrete. So I really need to hone in on who I am and what makes me who I am in order for me to basically see that magnification on a whole new schedule.
There you go. So you put your focus on that. You magnify that. You put your consciousness on getting a bigger, clear vision of yourself. And that will come into fruition. You're turning your attention and your intention on something. And since you are the life giver, it is going to spring up because you're caring for it. Right? Okay. Let's see. Who else can I pick?
Thank you, Coach Lucky.
Short amount of time. All right. Let's see. I don't know. No, Justin kind of busy. I think he's walking around.
No, I'm back in the building.
Justin,
I'm back.
what do you want to magnify?
What do I want to magnify?
Right. We're taking 5. I want all of you, like I said, to take 5 things a day to magnify. You want to magnify your health. What do you want to magnify? What do you want to get bigger, clear? What do you want to expand and grow? Give me one thing.
I'm gonna be honest. What I've been trying to really implement hard is my morning routine. Getting up and because I got trails next to my house, going and running and meditating. So, magnifying my mental health, I guess, my personal health. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, right. So you're going to combine that with 4 other things, right?
With 4 other things.
So it's 5 total. Every day you're going to wake up. All of us are going to wake up every day, right? We're going to order our day. We're going to then set going to have our expectations. Mind. My mind is always healthy and peaceful, right? Health. My health is always, I'm always healthy, happy, whole. I'm perfect, whole, and safe, right? So we're going to set expectations. You can do 5 of those. So order your day, do 5 expectations. What do you expect from a certain part of you? And what do you want from it? What do you expect it? How do you expect it to operate or perform? Then magnifications. You're going to pick 5 things that you want to magnify in your life, that you want to clarify, that you want to grow, that you want to increase. Right? So you may pick your health, you may pick your money, you may pick your business, you may pick your relationships, you can pick anything you want. 5 magnifications, 5 expectations, and order your day. I want each one of us to do that every day. It doesn't take long, right? Health. I'm always healthy. Something simple like that. That's an expectation, right? But I want all of us to do it every day. Like I said, I'm taking mental notes. Everybody's on here. And boy, I'm telling you, I'm watching. I'm looking at everybody. All right. That's it. Yes. Giovanni
has a question.
Yes.
Just expectations and magnifications. I thought I was missing one. I think you're missing the sit down for 15 minutes and the thought.
You're missing that third one that you're talking about is ordering your day. Magnifying expectations, ordering your day. The 15 minutes is separate. You're just going to do that once this week. Sit down in the quiet with a piece of paper and a pen, pencil next to you, and just write down things that cross your mind during that time. Leave for 5 minutes, come back and read it. See what you got. The other 3 you're going to do every day. Order your day, magnifications, and expectations. Those 3 things, they'll take 4 minutes. They don't take 2, 3. They don't take long, right? But I want you to start being conscious of what you're doing for yourself, because if you know who you are, you're a winner. You're designed to win. That's what you do, right? But not if you don't know that, and not if you're not applying your victories and your victory period, right? All right. Any other questions about anything that was said today or anything like that? Nope.
Nah, this was good as always. Thank you, Coach Lefty.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you all. Thank you for coming, Giovanni. Thank you, all of you, for coming. So I want all of you to understand that this is everything I'm giving you is about you and for you. We're not converting anyone here. Nobody has to be a new thing. You don't have to wear nothing special. You don't have to go anywhere. This is all the information I'm giving you is for you to take and think about and say, I'm not asking you to agree with everything I'm saying. I'm asking you to be honest with yourself about what you're hearing and what does it mean to you? What does what I'm saying, what does that make you think? What does it matter? He said that. I agree. I disagree. Why? Why not? It doesn't, but I want you to think so that you can start applying all of the skills and the gifts that you have inside of you guys, inside of all of us. I want you to think, right, and start applying. That's what all this is for. It's to spur the thought that's in you, the greatness that's in you, to act, to start acting, right? To start acting. That's what I want for all of us, right? Anything else we want to say?
No. Yeah. If you guys make sure you if you haven't registered or just subscribe to the mental.academy, do so that way we can get you on the email list and send you the reminders for the call.
And last thing I want to say is, if anybody, we try to do it at 6:30 in the morning. I think it's 9:30 you guys time, so that people can come and meet each other, talk to each other. If you have things going on, I want everybody to be able to do that. I know Jeremy and Veronica have what do you guys call it? Collaboration, you know, whatever that thing is. Tell people. Yes, tell them. So look, everybody's gonna have 30 seconds. If you have something that you're doing, a challenge, Tasha, that means you, so stay here, don't go nowhere. I don't care if it's your birthday. You know, I want everyone to just say, if you have something going, I want everybody to just say, hey, this is what I have going, so people can know, right? All right, so Jeremy and Veronica, you guys can split up your time. You got 30 seconds each, because, you know, but otherwise, but 50 or 20 seconds, because, you know, people are mad at you. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so we have an e-commerce masterclass. So if you have any kind of business or services that you're offering, this is the place to be. Last night we kicked it off with the customer avatar workshop. And on June 2nd, we're going to kick it off with the psychology of sales. And then it's going to go on. We have people booked all the way through October now. So this is the place to be. I'll drop the link in the chat. Thank you.
Jeremy?
Yeah, like what Vero just said, we're doing e-commerce growth masterclass. So each and every bi-weekly, we're an expert around the process of sales, around e-commerce, that's bringing a unique topic that you could implement directly into your business, grow your business, and see results. So definitely look at the link, join the masterclass, and we'll see you there.
Okay, and then we'll just go in a row, right next to, on the inside of Tasha. Leslie. Yes, Leslie, anything you want to say about your business or anything you have?
I would love to say something about my business, but I'm going to get my head straight, and then I'm going to say it the next time I'm on, which is next Saturday.
Okay, Tosh.
Yeah. So I am hosting a 3-day rental car challenge. It starts next Tuesday, which is the 23rd, goes all the way to the 25th. And I'm going to be teaching how to start and how to grow your rental car business. And since today is my birthday, I am running a special sale. So anybody who signs up today to the challenge, you will get my ebook for free. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Give me a second, because, you know, me and my phone, we ain't friends today. But yeah, if you're interested, just let me know. I'll get in contact with you. And if you know someone who may be of interest, definitely let me know.
Okay, cool. Justin.
Can y'all hear me? Okay, what's going on?
Yes.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Justin, also known as the Content Creating Realtor. I work with top producing real estate agents and teams. I'm also the marketing director of my brokerage here at Remax Affiliates in Philadelphia. So if you know anybody that's trying to upgrade their content, you know, talk about their content, talk about strategies, or get into real estate, definitely tap into the network. That's my YouTube channel. I'll put it in the chat, and I'll put my information in the chat too.
Cool. All right, moms. Cool. All right, next person right there. Who's that? Read AI meeting.
Oh, that's not. That's
okay. LaTanya.
I am here. Yes. Okay. I'm a real estate broker in the Metro Atlanta area. I'm excited. Over 20 years of experience. Love what I do. I am with Compass in Buckhead. So I'm actually working on my branding. That's why I said that earlier, right?
Yes.
So I'm rebranding. I'm doing all of this stuff. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited about what is to come. I am passionate about affordable housing. I don't know if you guys have heard, or seen. We are really being priced out as a culture, and it's just crazy. So I'm really passionate about that and helping others learn about home ownership and how to leverage that to build wealth. So, yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay, Johnny. I know because we.
Mute button.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost service real quick because it's raining cats and dogs over here. So what I do, my name is Johnny Reed. I have a clothing brand called Respectfully Great. You can shop today at respectfullygreat.com. The purpose of my brand is geared around helping troubled and unmotivated men turn their frustration into motivation by providing them the outlet through uplifting apparel. So today, you can shop today at respectfullygreat.com. We have t-shirts, hoodies, Hopefully next week or the week following, I will have some socks available as well. But if you just want to support, please do so. Shout out to Veto and Coach Lucky for giving the platform. I really appreciate you guys so much. And I really, really look forward to this every week because you provide another mindset for myself and for the people that I'm around. I'm with my brother today. He's driving.
Yeah.
But he listens in. I'm here with my girlfriend at times. She listens in. I go with my mom. She listens in. So every opportunity, trying to build the mindset, not just for myself, but for the people that I'm around as well. And I really appreciate you guys providing this because it really, really helps me and the people that I'm around. So thank you again.
Man, thank you. You and the family. Thank you. All right, John.
Oh, wait, maybe his mute button.
Man, you're about to get fired. You're about to get fired. On your free time and your day off.
You're unmuted now, John.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Good. Yeah, I got to find out probably something getting hung up on my phone with this Zoom, but I'll have to get it restarted. Coach Lucky, real, I'd like to thank everybody that's on this call just for, all the inspiration and things that you guys are saying. Like I was saying, just at that point for me right now, just getting a restart, as they say, reorganizing some things in my life. And it's just good to hear that positive energy. Good to hear some good ideas, get some good insight as I start my new journey in life. So looking forward to more interaction with all of you and just and growing. Got to have that mind right first. Got to get that brain going and give thanks and praise that I am inside of you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Appreciate it. Giovanni.
No, I think it's everyone's mute button's getting them.
Oh, okay. I don't know, maybe she's not. Is Cynthia? Is that?
Yeah.
Cynthia.
Hi, everyone. This is actually my second time on.
Oh, cool.
My name is Cynthia. I am Justin Talbot's wife.
Oh.
Actually, how I got interested in coming on is about 2 weeks ago. I was hearing you, Coach Lucky, you were talking, and I kept walking by. I think I was like doing laundry and like cleaning, and I kept stopping and I kept just hearing like key things. And I'm like, so when he got off, I'm like, I want to be on it next time. Can you tell them this? Can you tell Veronica to send me the Zoom link? Like, I want to be on. So like we connected with Veronica, and I'm just grateful to be on. It's just I'm starting my journey. I just passed my state part of the real estate exam. I am studying for the national part. So I am going to be changing I'm actually in the health career. I take care of 2 patients, and I'll be transitioning over to real estate. So I'm just really excited, and just everything you spoke about, even when you touched on our minds, we try to work on our mindsets, but we work on our bodies first. And I never heard it that way when you said like, oh, we'll go buy healthy stuff and vitamins and this, and we're working on our bodies, but we have to work on our minds. And I'm learning that now, but I'm grateful and thank you, and I'll be on next week.
Oh, it's my honor, pleasure to have you. Thank you.
We tapped in, Coach Lucky. We tapped in.
Hey, man, I see it, man. You guys like Voltron, like a Power Ranger. Yeah. All right. Giovanni, one more. I just want to make sure we try to catch you just in case. All right. All right. Hey, well, we'll let you guys get to your day. Thank you all so much for coming. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. It's all about you. It's all about you guys taking this information, using it in ways that are meaningful and valuable to you. Realize and remember how important you are. I'm always right and only right about one thing, which is you're great, which is you are greater than you can imagine. And if you just if you just take a chance to believe that, you'll accomplish things that you could only imagine, right? So, hey, have a wonderful day. Listen, I'm gonna send you off on a thread. I'm watching for that work next week. I am going to be looking at all of you in the face, and I'm watching for that work this week. I'm gonna write it down somewhere so I don't forget. But hey, appreciate. Hey, love you all. Appreciate you all. Have a great week, a great day, and we'll catch up.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Peace. Thanks for coming.
Everybody have a blessed week. Let's go.
Sir.